She helped me park my car, though. So
Did she?
I mean, it's because
I thought you had a Tesla. That shit parks itself.
Tesla doesn't park itself.
Nah, yeah, I guess
It drives itself, but doesn't know how to park.
That's pretty dumb.
It's pretty dumb.
wait, so it doesn't park itself?
I don't think so. I've never tried.
Bro, that's so.
I mean, what do you do?
cool.
You hold the button down and go park yourself, and it just doesn't do anything. It does do some shit though.
Like what?
Well, you know it does. It farts all over you, which is fun.
Right. I came in your car. Oh, hey, yo.
Wait, whoa,
whoa.
I still can't get it out of this leather, man.
I meant to say I went in your car and you played the little fireplace. This is not going to go.
You know what?
Damn it.
Gianni's so potent that he came in my car, and then 3 days later, I had a girl in the car, and she got pregnant.
Damn it, G, what the f?
Last one to the airport buys breakfast. Day one.
Okay.
Here, we gotta introduce Shane Johnson. But here's the thing. Nobody knows Shane. They know
Yeah,
Cooper
they know
Saxe.
Cooper Saxe. They don't fucking know.
And
shit.
that's
They
why
don't
the
fucking know
Cooper
this
Saxe
thing.
character is hated, but really, Shane is the most loved person on every set besides me. No, Shane is the most loved person in the entire universe. I've never met one person who doesn't have the best things to say about him. One of the most talented people I've ever worked with. Was really a mentor for me for like years. When I was coming up, we'd call each other all the time, and he really helped me a lot. So thank you for that, Shane, and thank you for coming today for the podcast.
100%. Thank you.
Yes.
And I didn't know people don't like Cooper Saxe.
Yeah. If I don't know if you've ever been on the internet, but it's not great for you,
They
man.
fucking hate you.
Dude, I invented the internet. Yeah, that's pretty wild. There's a lot of hate thrown my way, which is fun. I mean, at first it wasn't. At first that shit's hard to deal with at first because I had just gotten onto Instagram too. I was like, well, I guess I got to do this shit,
Right.
Because we're talking a decade ago,
Yeah, damn near.
and people weren't really. At least people my age were not fucking with Instagram. Can we swear on here?
Yeah.
Fuck
So-
yeah.
People in their 70s you're talking about?
Yeah, people. I mean, back then I was 69, but but now that I'm in my 70s, no, it was. I was like, I don't think I need to do the Instagram thing because Twitter was the thing,
Right.
and Instagram
And
was like
Facebook.
people were just doing pictures and shit, and I was like, why the fuck am I gonna take pictures of my meal?
Right.
Anyway, so we got on the show, and they were like, you got to get into the social media, and so I did it, and then that's when it was like, oh, people hate you and want to stab you and punch you in the face and all that sort of stuff. And,
What season did you start seeing that?
oh, right away.
He's like almost immediately.
Oh yeah, right away.
Yeah, right away. But the thing is as you know, it's like you don't really know what the response is going to be until that shit airs.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And initially, you don't know if people are going to like the show, if people are going to watch the show.
Right.
And it takes a couple seasons before you go, oh, this is a thing.
Right.
This is a thing. Because this was also like totally new territory for stars.
Right.
Yeah, they never put out a show like of this kind.
Not at all.
What was their big show before?
Well, put it this way: Stars' whole concept was taking you places, and it was like historical dramas. They had like Da Vinci's Demons, The White Queen, The Spanish Princess,
happened to
Spartacus.
black
Spartacus was the big thing.
White Queen, Spanish Princess. What happened to black people?
right. Well, Black Sails.
Oh, I had the
Black Sails, which was the pirate show.
Not the same thing, Shane, but
Those were all, and then Outlander.
Right.
But so it was Black Sails, Outlander, and Spartacus were kind of the big shows. You know what I mean? And then I think when they came along and said, "Hey, here's we have this urban drug drama that takes place today," I'm sure Stars was like, you know what? Well, let's just throw it against the wall.
Right.
And then it just exploded the Stars. It exploded them.
Right.
Power is Stars.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know the numbers, but I have a feeling that we've got like 3 times the numbers that Outlander has. We just don't have 3 times the PR that they have.
Yo, their PR is fucking insane. Yo,
I see it everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck?
What a
It's
PR
everywhere.
team, man. Yo,
I've never met one person that watches Outlander. I'm like, maybe no one watches it, and it's all like generated stuff of like, I've never met someone that watched it.
Mad Men was that same way.
Really?
Well, yeah, like people in the industry watch Mad Men.
Right.
It would have like maybe a couple million viewers, I think.
Right.
A couple million. Which is like maybe a hit for them at the
Right,
time,
right.
AMC or whatever. Was that AMC?
It was
Yeah, it
AMC.
was AMC.
Yep.
Yeah, a couple million viewers for them. They're like, oh, this is great. But those guys all exploded.
Right, John Hamm.
Christina Hendricks, John Hamm, The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah,
Like,
Lizzie Moss.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's what's supposed to happen for us now.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
what
what's
I'm
up?
saying.
Like what we doing? Like I honestly I think we need to outline the PR team like to come fuck with the Ghost Boys. And,
I'm with it. What's happening?
No,
We just
outline
need
the
to get
PR team.
schooled.
Come fuck with the boys. We need you.
So I want you to go from the start of how Cooper Saxe became of. What was the first email inkling that you got of Power and
So the audition process.
right that, but like what was the first thing you heard of it? Your agent?
Yeah. I think the way I got into this, the mix for this was Vicky Thomas, who cast it, who's amazing.
I literally just had a reading with her yesterday.
Did you really?
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Oh, she's great.
It was insane. I was like, wait. I was like, you. She's like, yes, it's Vicky. I was like, oh, you cast me for Power.
That's wild, man. You know what's funny?
He had like an AP on the camera. He's like, "Thank you."
I'm gonna
Good looking.
I'm gonna jump back into what I was gonna say, but just to that point, like I maybe after Power had started, maybe 3 or 4 seasons in, maybe it was like year 4. I went in and I read for Vicky again, and I was like, hey, I gotta thank you for Power. It's been incredible. She's like, is that still on?
Was she joking?
I mean, she may have been joking, but it was hysterical to me because I was like, "Oh my god, that makes sense." Like they're so busy, they're casting so much stuff,
Hell
and
yeah.
she only cast the pilot.
Right.
Like she did the pilot.
Right.
That's where her work, the concrete work, which was the foundation of the whole show. Obviously, she did incredible work.
What?
But then she passes it off to, or they bring on somebody else to do the series. You
Right.
know.
All right, but we're going to take a break from the episode and we're going to give away some money because this is what we do.
This is the best part of
people-
everyone's week is we're giving away money from Moneyline.
Yes, Moneyline is always helping the boys out, give back to the people.
Don't forget to sign up, okay? Download the Moneyline app and sign up using the Roar tag. The crew has it. We're giving away up to $100,000. So every new sign up is another dollar in the jar. We're getting there, okay?
we're getting there.
So keep signing up. We're giving away free
If y'all want
money.
100K, just sign up. I mean, it's that simple. Every sign up is $1 into the jar.
And everyone wins 100K. No, I'm kidding. But you have a chance every time.
you get 100K, you get 100K, you get
From Moneyline, not us.
Look, this is how you sign up. You create your Roar tag, whatever you want it to be, whatever name you want it to be, but use the referral code. The crew has it. Don't forget to use the referral code. That's the only way.
And then when you sign up, you automatically enter yourself into the drawing. Every week, we're giving away money. We're about to give away some money right now. And then at the end of the year, you're placed in the jar to potentially win up to $100,000.
100 bands.
No brainer.
100
No
bands.
brainer.
100 bun.
Moneyline is the app. It's the go-to money app for everything money. Learn how to do your taxes, invest, look at your account balance,
Save.
everything. Moneyline has you covered.
They got you covered. If you want the money, make sure you Moneyline.
Every time you money, baby,
Moneyline.
be a Moneyline.
So look, every other week we're giving away $1,000.
You see it in the episodes. We're throwing away money like we're Oprah.
So what we about to do is announce the winners for this week's win. Like, you know what I'm saying? We gave away the bag for this week. So we're gonna announce the winners.
Who's our first winner, Mike?
Pierre Milburn. His Roar tag is what? Halim 24. I believe?
Halim 24. You won $175, baby.
$175, my boy.
That's it. All he did was sign up with the Moneyline app and use
little
the promo
clicks of the
code.
thumb, and he got $175. I mean,
$175.
how easy could it be?
Our next winner is Tavon Davidson with 200 beans in his pocket.
200.
What's his word tag, Mike?
Nicoy_17. He just got him a $200.
$200. Go get yourself some nice shoes.
You know what I'm saying? I bet so. Our third winner is Gilla Rosenberg. How much she win?
She won $230.
Oh, she running it up.
And her roar tag is Lila Rosenberg, baby. Lila Rosenberg, $230. All she did was download the money app.
She running it up on y'all folks. Y'all better get in tune. So our fourth winner, Sasha Lalo, she won $185.
$185, baby.
Little calm $185.
And her roar tag was Sasha93. All she had to do, sign up with Moneyline.
Simple as that. So our final winner, fifth and final winner, he got a little bag to him.
Our good friend Robbie Rose.
Little 210 in his pocket from the boys on money line. You know what I'm
210 in his
saying?
pocket from Moneyline. What's his word tag?
And his road tag, Rose J.
Rose.
Boy done won 210.
210. We're giving away money every single week. Make sure you download the Moneyline app. Use the referral code. The crew has it for your chance to win up to $100,000, baby.
Listen, baby, we giving away money.
No.
What else do y'all want us to do?
No brainer. Back to the episode.
But I had auditioned for this movie, the Chadwick Boseman, the 42 movie.
Right.
And
Rest in peace.
because I played baseball and I look like a racist white dude.
You do.
And
you
so,
do.
and so, and
You
so,
100% do.
and so when I was up for that, and I got pretty far in the mix. And so I think when Power came around, maybe a year later, I think that's how I got kind of in the mix for stuff. But like a lot of people, I auditioned for Tommy.
Uh-huh.
And I remember reading.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. One of probably the best character in the series, but go on.
So, no energy, no heat from that, right? We're just playing. We're playing.
Yeah,
it's all good. So so I auditioned for Tommy, and I remember reading the breakdown, the sides and stuff, and I was like, oh God, this really isn't my casting, but that shit happens,
right?
As actors,
all the time, all the time,
yeah. And so you're like, all right, well, this isn't my sensibility, but fuck it, I'm gonna throw down and do what I do. And so obviously my version of Tommy was very different than Joe's.
Please, like
Ghost?
Yeah.
Ghost, come on, man. You can't do this. You don't have to shoot him right now, dude.
Not today, Ghost.
No, I did as street as I could do,
Right.
but I did it my way.
I would have loved to see that self-tape.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I threw down,
Nice.
man. I threw down, and to the point where I went and read with Vicky for that first, and then she was like, this guy should be in the mix. Then I came back, and that's when I met Courtney and David Knoller, who was a producer at the time and set things up. And that's when I kind of like really met them and felt like, all right, there's an opportunity here. And so even though I was like, I don't know about the casting of this and the script, I went for it. And then of course I didn't hear shit for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And then they brought me back in for Greg Knox, who is Andy Bean.
Right.
Who's awesome.
Shout out to Andy, man.
But it's cool, though, because I read for that. And I read the breakdown there. And it was like kind of this all-American, altruistic sort of like... And I was like, this is more in my wheelhouse, but it's still not quite... But when I got the breakdown for Cooper Saxe, I was like, well, fuck.
Right. So you knew right away?
Well, just because it was like, this guy's a, privileged, overeducated, annoying, whatever. I was like, fucking A, this is what.
Right.
This is my wheelhouse. Not, by the way, I think it's interesting because you have to deal with your casting.
Right.
Your heart and your passion as an artist sometimes is like, I want to be that.
Right.
I feel like that's what's in, But when you walk in the room, those decisions are made so quickly about like where you fit.
Right.
And it can be something as simple as how tall you are, how you look, your hair, your voice.
Right.
I grew up, man, in a double wide.
Right.
In a trailer park.
Right.
I'm not Cooper Saxe at all, but
Right.
But when I walk in a room, people go like, fucking hate this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
Until they have a conversation with you.
And so eventually you just fucking own that shit. And you go, all right, this is my casting. And then, when you blow up, you kind of get to be a celebrity. Then that's when you can, I feel like, really start to play with, hey, I want to try this. And people go, really? And you go, yeah, I want to fucking try this. Trust me. And then they see what you can do. But at first, they want to be safe.
Right.
They want to go walk in the room, make me go, that's Tommy.
Right.
And then when we got to the first table read, which was, of course, terrifying.
Do you remember your audition scene and the audition itself?
For Tommy?
For Cooper, when you went in for Cooper.
Yeah.
So what scene was it? And do you remember how it went? Do you remember if it went great, it went shitty?
Well, am I going to admit this or not?
Yeah, you are.
I mean, I've talked about it before. I just think it's interesting. The being an artist in this business is wild.
Right.
It's a wild run. They get these fucking incredible highs, and then you're like, oh shit, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And that's just life. I was like at the unemployment office,
Damn.
having to listen to this gal, tell me. All of us. You're sitting down. You're kind of going, and you dress down because you want to look like I need a job.
Right.
And then and she's telling you this is how you fill your things out. This is how you look for jobs. These are the things, and it's just like so demeaning.
Right.
But you're going, I got to pay some bills.
Right.
Got in my beat up Ford Taurus after that meeting, changed into my suit, looked myself in the rearview mirror and was like, dude, shake it off, go knock this out. And that was my audition for Cooper Saxe.
That same day?
Right after dude, I literally changed in the car because I wasn't going to wear my suit to the unemployment
You're like,
office. I wasn't going to be
"We don't need a
like,
fucking job."
I'm a lawyer who's out of work.
Right. Right.
So
Wow.
and that's embarrassing in some ways because as an artist, a lot of times as an actor, you want to put on this front that like
Right.
that you got it made, that you got money, that life is easy.
Right.
And the reality is there are those moments. I've been through it.
Right.
When I was like your guys' age, I was killing it.
Right.
And then, you go through times where people go, I can't quite figure out where to put you.
Right.
Hopefully that never fucking happens. But for me, it happened because I never looked like, I shouldn't say I never looked like, I never sounded like I was a college kid.
Right.
And so when I was your guys' age, they had me going out for all this college shit like you guys are doing. And I'd walk in and they'd be like, okay, he's great, but he doesn't seem like he's in college.
Right.
And so then I spent my 20s being like a serial killer and a pedophile and in a bunch of different shows.
Right?
No, in life. No, in life. But I'll tell you this, you can't do those at the same time.
Yeah. On a show and in real life is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying you can't be a serial killer and a pedophile at the same time.
Choose one. Pick a lane.
You gotta pick a lane because there's a lot of work out there. There's a lot of work out there. What? What'd I say?
He said no in real life.
So I was always like the killer. I mean, man, I've been killed so many times on TV. It's crazy, and it was a blast, and I had fun doing it. But it took, and I remember my agent at the time when I was at Paradigm. He said, "Listen," and I fucking hated him for it. But this is a lesson.
Right.
You still hate him?
No, not at all. I love him. But I hated him for this at the time because I was like 20, I was 25, 26.
Right.
And he said, listen, Shane, he's like, you're a great talent. You stick with this shit. He's like, you're not going to come into your own until you're in your mid 30s. And I was like, that's fucking 10 years from now. Fuck you.
Right.
I'm working now.
Right.
And now looking back at my career, I'm like, that son of a bitch.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to grow into your casting and,
Right.
and your and I feel like that's kind of what happened for me.
Right. Unemployment line to mansion pulling up in his Tesla.
Hey,
It's
a good life for the boy. We saw his house. This shit is fire.
Firehouse.
I'm about 5 minutes from you guys.
Oh yeah, we're coming over.
We're coming to see you.
We're coming
So,
over.
do you remember your audition scene? Who was it with? And what was the scene itself?
Vaguely, it was because I didn't really have shit in the pilot.
Right.
I had and Courtney threw me in the pilot after the fact. I had like one line in there. I was like, said
You
some
were
shit.
you were in the boardroom?
Conference room.
Yeah,
I said
conference
some
room, yeah.
shit to Angela, like
Right.
just some snarky shit. But it was from like episode 2, and then maybe something from episode 4, because they'd already written that stuff. We cross-boarded that whole first season was nuts.
Right.
So they already had all that. They already had quite a bit of it, I think, written.
Right.
They must have, because I had sides from 2 and 4, I think.
Right.
And I just remember reading the sides and going, yeah, this is. It was kind of like arrogant, sort of looking down my nose at Angela, I think, And I was like, all right, well, this is in my wheelhouse because it's what I do in my life.
Right.
It's easy. I don't even have to act.
He's like,
Roll out of bed.
this is what I do. Roll out of bed, put on the
what I do.
wardrobe, and we good.
So you got the call. You booked the job. What was that like? Were you like relieved? Was it like just another day?
Man, when I first got the call, it's life-changing.
Right.
It's life-changing. But I will say, I've had so many of those life-changing moments where you're like, this is the thing.
Right.
And then it doesn't go. And so this was another one of those that I'm like, okay, for this moment, you fucking hope and you're like, yeah, this is my life-changing moment.
Right.
And then you got to just wait and see.
Right.
You know, they used to do like, they do like 40 pilots or some shit, some of these places. And then they pick up like 5 or 6 shows. And everybody else that's out there doing all these, I don't know the numbers. I think Sasha talked about that.
Right, he did.
And I don't know the actual numbers, but I know that like they would always like, you know, order a pilot. And so everybody that does, you hear about it all the time, like George Clooney, I think, he's like, he did 8 years in a row, he did a pilot, he never got picked up.
Right.
Until ER or something, right?
Crazy.
Well, George got Casamigos now. He's good. He don't need shit.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, and you guys are doing it, it's crazy to me that so many people make their fortune not from what they do.
Right. Right.
But from just being smart about parlaying.
Right.
into
And using their
something.
platform.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wahlburgers, F45 Jim, that's Mark. You got
Fucking what's the other shit?
The Rock with
what's his water?
Beats.
What's his water?
Dude,
yeah.
Beats.
Beats
Oh yeah,
by
Beats
Dre.
by Dre. Yeah,
Yeah,
facts.
it's
The Rock got
crazy.
And then
Taylor
everyone
Mother.
was like, oh, I can do that too. I can
Right.
do headphones too. And so then you had a slew of everybody had a headphone.
Right.
But they weren't Beats, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, let's mix. Even 50 had some
Condoms.
SMS.
Condoms
Yes,
by the
SMS,
boys.
facts.
Condoms by the boys coming out
the
soon.
crew has it.
Yeah,
covered,
yeah, crew has
They're
it.
so
The
they're
crew
missing
doesn't
it.
have anything.
So the thing with their
You get me?
condoms, I'm just going to say this, part of the crew has at condoms is that it's missing the tip.
So the crew does have it.
Yeah.
When it's in
The crew all has it.
they've got
Whatever that thing is, everyone's got it.
monkeypox is going around the crew.
Hey, listen, man. It's smooth sack summer, baby.
Bro, there's a heat wave in LA right
it's
now.
hot as hell
and
out here,
my
bro.
balls are sweating
Bro, profusely.
profusely.
So what are we gonna do about this?
We're gonna call our boys up at Manscaped and we're gonna tell them we need the Performance Package 4.0.
Oh, we need that new sheet.
We have it all over the crib, in every bathroom, every crevice. We have the underwear, which Mike's wearing right now. We got the,
It's quite comfortable.
We got the lawnmower 4.0. We got that in every bathroom. They got us covered.
The boys are smooth in the crib. I don't know about y'all. I don't know what y'all doing in y'all house. Y'all don't got enough performance packs over there. I don't know what's going on. But y'all got to get up to par, bro.
I got the ball deodorant on right now.
I mean, with this heat wave, you need it. You know what I'm saying?
Need it.
You know what I'm saying? I think I got it on too. Wait, let me see.
Yeah, no, he's got it on.
Listen, we got a 400K LED light on this joint. Like, you could literally shave in pitch black darkness.
In pitch black, if you in the club, pull that shit on out. Do it. No one will even see
You know
it
what I'm
because
saying?
it's pitch black in there, but you can see the lawnmower 4.0.
Oh, and it's also waterproof. So, you know what I'm saying? You got a little shorty in the crib. She waiting for you, get freshened up. You in the shower. You like, hold on, I don't really got time to get out, dry off, and then do all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Just grab that bitch right off the sink.
And in the pool. I
Right
do
in
it
the
in the
shower.
pool. My hair, my ball hair is all over the pool.
Yeah, we had to skim a lot of that out. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they weren't happy with me. But here's the thing, it's waterproof, so I could do it.
Oh, they giving away gifts?
They're giving away gifts, baby. We're always giving away gifts. But Manscaped is giving away something special.
They giving away the boxes and the Shed travel bag. You need a little travel bag for your balls.
Yeah, I don't got a Manscaped travel bag. What's this?
Yo, what we doing? I mean, that's why we gotta call them. We gotta re-up.
Call our friends at Manscaped.
All right, hold on. Before we give them the promo code and all that, y'all know how I come with the manicures. Y'all know how I come. I gotta keep them nice and sexy. It's been a week and a half. I might go do my shits today, actually, now that we done. But they got the Shears 2.0. So if you don't got time to go get a manicure or whatever, you can clip your nails with the Shears 2.0. Gucci. Now look, we giving 20% off and
Free shipping.
because fuck shipping.
Fuck you mean?
Yeah, so just use the promo code CREW and you're good. 20% off and no shipping.
20% off, free shipping. The promo code CREW. Go to manscaped.com.
Go get that performance package
Tell them the
4.0.
boys sent you.
Yeah, tell them the boys sent you, all right?
the boys sent
Y'all
you.
want smooth sacks this summer. None of that prickly, pebbly
We got a
bullshit.
heat wave right now, global warming. You got to make sure your balls is not evolving.
Yeah, nah, we're not doing that. Manscaped, baby.
Back to the episode. Right, but yeah, that is insane. But like, I think it's just social media now. Like, you build yourself an audience, you can create a brand
Fucking
and
sell anything,
and sell anything.
bro. You could literally sell anything, bro.
Right.
If you have an audience, you could sell anything in this world,
Right.
bro.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that's wild though, is you have to at a certain, and I'm struggling with this because I'm a different generation, you know.
Right.
Like I could be Gianni's dad. I could be your dad too.
Yeah.
You are my dad.
Daddy.
It's, you know, It's wild because fuck, man. When I first came, and I'm not going to get into a whole like when I came up and I walked up a hill.
Right.
I'm not doing that shit. But when I first got to LA, we didn't even have cell phones.
Right.
You had a pager. And it was on your hip and like some stupid clip-on thing, a pager, and you get a 911 or a pager from your agent, and then you pull over to a fucking payphone and like drop some quarters, and they'll go, hey, what's up? You know, going, you got an audition? Yeah, okay, what's it for? And then you get a fax, and the fax they weren't sheets of paper, it was a roll. It came out, you've seen those rolls of paper?
Right.
And you get a roll and you have to cut the slide, and it was all rolled up and crazy. I mean, man, times have changed.
Right.
We don't even print our sides out anymore.
Right,
Like,
it's on the phone.
It's on the phone or an iPad or some shit.
That's a
even
fact.
with Power, when we started our
We were on
table reads,
set.
everybody had a printout. Mm-hmm. By the end of it, people were just like, "Why does read this off my iPad,
read off my phone,
my
my
computer
iPad.
or whatever?"
Even on
Yeah.
set, they barely give us paper size. Like we got to request them. Shit's like, can I get paper size, please? Like, what's up? Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
And
crazy
here we
how
are.
everything's
Here you
changed.
guys are. Podcasts. Come on.
Right.
hey,
Right.
Come on.
It's insane. It's insane.
love it.
I love the way it's
I'm
going.
so
though.
happy for you guys too.
Thank you.
Killing it.
Thank you. We
Killing
appreciate
it.
that.
My
We appreciate
God, I'm
that.
jealous. Nobody listens to my podcast.
How many listeners do you have?
I don't have a podcast.
Is just your wife?
he's like,
I don't have a
Is
podcast.
Keely?
Yeah, no. I think what I need for my podcast, honestly, is I need to get a microphone and some sort of recording.
Yeah, that's very baseline.
that's probably why you
stuff.
don't have any viewers.
Yeah.
If you had that,
I'm
then you
working
probably
on
have some viewers.
Right.
I know. I'm working on it. I need a studio.
You need a mic and a camera.
So your first day on set, what's that like? Who do you see?
I was like 9 years old.
Right. Do you see 50? Do you see anyone like that? You're like, holy shit, or is it just kind of another day at work?
Well, in regards to the cast, it was like another day at work.
Right.
Because we were all like in the same boat.
Right.
I mean, Omari had a little bit of heat. But like from Being Mary Jane, I believe he was on, and maybe had a few nominations at the time. But other than that, it was kind of like we were all in the same boat. And so I didn't know, Leela. I didn't know. I didn't know their work.
Right.
I didn't know Joe's work. It is funny though, once you know people and you watching shit on TV, you're kind of like, oh, that motherfucker did an episode of this, or he's in like that. But like
Because Joe did an episode of everything before he was on.
It was funny because when I was on the plane flying to New York to shoot my first episode, I watched, I think, Jack Reacher.
Right.
And Joe was in that.
Yeah.
And then the next day I was like, fuck, that's the guy from
Right.
that thing.
Right.
But I know everybody was cool. It was comfortable. You have the nerves. You're nervous.
Right.
I'm always nervous, man. Oh,
Even still on set to this day?
First take of a new episode almost every day. And I think what that is maybe nervous is not the right word. There's an artist sort of energy of like, I want this to go a certain way.
Right.
And so it affects you physically. You have a physical response to it. I don't think I ever want to get to the point where I have zero physical response.
I'm there and I want to
work.
kill myself because I miss that feeling. Because I get to set, it's me and Mike. I'm less nervous because while I'm offset, everyone's coming up to me. Do you need this, that? And I'm just like, oh, I'm good like this. Then when the cameras roll, I'm not nervous. I'm like, and I miss that feeling, but I think I'll get that again auditioning again and going back in that or doing a new project. I think it's because I'm so comfortable with everyone on set now that I'm like, everyone is here for like to do this together. As opposed to when you go to a new set, you don't know anyone. There's like 40 people behind the camera and you're like, they could be making fun of me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. They're making fun.
yeah. All right, you're right. You're right.
No, it's I just kind of get that. I just kind of get that passion of like, I fucking care, man.
Right.
I really care about what we're doing. I care about the show. I care about, how it comes across. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm still here. I've stuck around this long is because it always has meant something to me.
Right.
Every take, every
You
day.
could tell though. You could tell like on set with Shane, like Shane is about his business, yo.
Right.
Shane is just.
Thank you.
He's on that shit.
Thank you.
Did you think like it was my time every episode in Power? Were you like, fuck, this is it, or did you just confidently go, I think I'm gonna stick it out?
Once we got into season 2, once we got the pickup for season 2, and I got asked back,
Right.
that's when the like, oh shit, am I going to get killed off started. And it started because everyone was getting killed off.
Right.
Like if you look at the office that I worked in, that conference room, and the people that I was working with, every year there was just like murder.
Right.
And it was kind of culminated. It was funny. I think in season 6 when I'm standing opposite Monique, and we're arguing about Ghost, and I'm saying some shit like, "Who's the fucking common denominator of all these motherfucking bodies?
Right.
Lobos, of Angela, et cetera, all these bodies." And I said, James motherfucking St. Patrick.
Right.
And she's like, and you. And I was like, fuck. And it's true. I mean,
And then every time she said the line, you're like, yeah, you're trying to cut her off so she doesn't say it.
No, it was just the fact that in this, I was like in the eye of a storm.
Right.
I was in the eye of a storm for like seasons.
Right.
And so every year you never feel like, am I gonna survive? Am I gonna survive? Am I gonna get, how's this gonna go? And then the other thing is, we don't really know 100% until you get the script.
Right.
I mean, I know that we get those breakdowns at the beginning of the season, but
Should be changing in the middle of the season, though.
Right.
Should be changing.
Yeah. That's that.
So you get to set, and then when do you see like your life changing? You see like maybe you're getting more opportunities acting. You see people recognizing you more. Like when do you see Power becoming a hit?
I think Power becoming a hit. I mean, honestly, for me, it was about the chatter.
Right.
It was like on Instagram and among the cast and stuff. And when you start hearing the numbers,
Right.
and the comparison.
Right. We had 100 million viewers, I think, season 1. Crazy.
Motherfuckers can't compare. Oh my God.
It was
Per episode.
They're gonna need to drop 3 more seasons because
and then we get picked up, I think, after season 2. I think we got picked, or maybe it was after season 3. They just picked us up for 2 seasons.
Damn, that must have been a relief.
That's different.
So
Remember that?
So that was 4 and 5.
Facts. That is.
I think it was 4 and 5. They just said
That's when your boy came in.
you got another. You have another 2 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah, like
So-
how did like this? Like there was no. Oh yeah, we're renewing.
That
for this.
rarely happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2 seasons, like
Yeah.
in one shot. And
that's
so then
crazy.
and then when the billboards start going up,
Right.
and it's I live in LA, and so it's not as big of a show in LA.
It's
like
not.
I get recognized, people, whatever, but you can go around and be pretty anonymous
Right,
in LA.
right.
But in New York, it's like
Can't go anywhere.
forget.
I've taken about 4 pictures since I've been in LA. Honestly.
I also think it's because because it's LA and no one
Yeah, they
gives a
see
fuck.
everybody. They see
no
everybody,
one gives
so
a
they don't
fuck.
give a
Like
There's some of
literally,
that.
we go out to the bar and it's like, oh, there's fucking Dylan O'Brien. There's like so no one cares. Everyone's just like chilling. It's like to a point where I think that's also a thing. But yeah, also the show's way bigger in
And
New
by
York.
the way, I think that I like that about LA too.
It's the best. That's
I
one of
like
my
that about
favorite
LA.
things.
And I also appreciate myself. I appreciate me
Right.
when I fanboy internally
Right,
about somebody and I don't do anything about it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
right.
like.
And then I go, I'm a nice person. I'm a good person because I saw him or her
And
and
I
I
didn't
let
bother
them go.
I didn't say shit.
I didn't do shit.
Right.
I didn't
Live their
make them
life.
uncomfortable.
I
And
did
they know that I know them because they caught my eye and I was
Yep.
like, but I just let it go.
And as
Yeah.
soon as they saw me look at them, I'm like,
Yeah. No,
Like Stallone. I saw Stallone recently.
Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah. At the, no, Frank Stallone.
yeah. No, Tom Stallone.
Well, Frank's his brother, who actually is up there. Like, anyway, I was at this place where they frequent. A lot of people frequent there, not too far from where you guys are at. And Stallone was there with his family and stuff. And I was like, oh man,
His daughters do a podcast right next door.
Yeah, his daughters.
Beautiful.
Hey, take it easy.
I just said beautiful.
Oh, you mean the podcast is beautiful?
No, I mean they're beautiful.
I know what you
Sistine,
meant.
hit me up. But they're probably gonna cut that out. They're not gonna let me do that. But go on.
me and Gianni are twins, actually.
Yeah, we're twins, so we want to take you out to dinner.
Dude, take it easy. So anyway, my point is I mean, it's fucking Stallone,
Right.
man. And I'm a huge fan of his, but I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Right.
Let it go,
Right.
But I also appreciate that there are people out there that don't let it go.
Right.
But you have to think, for every person that stops you, there are probably another 50 that let you go.
Right.
That just shows you how in New York, it's huge because you can't walk around the streets hardly in New
Oh,
York,
yeah, it's quiet.
right? You can't walk
block,
on the streets.
every block. Like,
Yeah.
It's quiet.
And those are
Every
just, and those are
block.
just the people that stop you,
Right.
Because there are so many other people that are going like, oh my god, that's him, and
Yep.
they just keep moving.
Right.
And I actually touched on this on my Instagram like a minute ago because someone saw me and they took a picture of me from mad far. And
At the airport.
at the
in
airport, I think it
Houston.
was.
They're going to
Yeah.
Houston.
And I was like, bro, like if you see me, just like come up to me and say what's up. Like don't do some creepy shit and just like take a picture and then tag me. Be like, oh, I saw you earlier. Like what the fuck? Like
Right.
come up and say what's up. I mean, like I'm not gonna be like, watch out.
I'm gonna say get the fuck out of my face, but other than kidding.
I'm actually so appreciative. I mean, I have not
It
gotten.
makes me feel like you're trying to get the drop on me. Like what you doing? Like what you trying to do over there?
Yeah, it is because it also makes you think like, oh my god, people are watching me like this.
Yeah, it's like who the fuck else is watching me taking pictures of me
Right.
from mad far and sending it to whoever the fuck.
When you're
like,
eating,
Yeah, I'm
taking,
like,
like
let's
picking
go
your
say
nose
what's-
or some shit.
Right.
People
Yeah.
taking pictures.
picking my nose.
Yeah, the only time I ever am like, it's like when I'm out with a fire girl and I'm like, is anyone gonna come up to me?
Gotta throw the hoodie on. Gotta throw the
That's what you want.
Yeah.
You like pay people.
No,
You're like,
I put my hoodie
"Recognize me."
off. I put my
yeah.
head out. I'm with a fire girl and I'm at dinner. I'm like, can I get something? Where's the waiter? And they're like, oh, that's him. And I'm like, fuck yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Gianni, I bet, pays people to come up to him and go
Come
like,
over,
oh my
while he's
God,
eating. He's like,
yeah.
I know you're
my
eating.
God.
I'm sorry, but like I'm
Yeah.
never gonna see you. Please, just take a picture with me, please.
But they fuck up. They go up to me. I love you on force. And I'm like,
fuck, that's not me.
I'm not Tommy. I'm not Tommy. I'm not Tommy. Bitch.
Damn.
fuck. But yeah, so it's a hit. Everything's going good. Do you see more opportunities happening? Are you starting to like get more heat from the industry, or like how did that go for you?
I mean, a bit. I'll say this, man. I'll say this. It's tricky, and this isn't a boohoo thing at all. It's just reality.
Right.
It's tricky being like a really hated individual on a show.
Right.
Because it affects things that affect our business. Like I'm just being real. It affects my Instagram. It affects my engagement. It affects
Right.
how people relate to me. They don't go like, oh, here's an actor who I like what he's doing. They go, I fucking hate him.
Right.
And so that blurred line, those blurred lines between like actor and character I think it's amazing. I love the hate. And I love the fact that people can reach us and
Right.
communicate to us. I think that's when I was a kid growing up watching like the A-Team or some shit, I'd never think like, oh, I can reach out to Mr. T.
Right.
Or like, Face and be like, hey man, I love what you did in that episode. It's like, what?
Right.
Yeah, that is true.
And so now people can like watch something real time and be like, fuck you. And you can be like, leave him alone. People always tell me, leave Tariq alone all the time.
Right. That was
Get
all
off
the fan
Tariq's nuts,
questions.
man. Get
that
off
was
Tariq's
every
nuts.
fan question. Why are you such a dick? I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
Every single question. Like, why aren't you dead yet? Like, literally, I'm like, jeez, these people are crazy.
But exactly, this is my life.
Right.
This is my life. For 10
I
years.
only was doing fan questions. I can't imagine being you. I'm like, get that away from me.
So in answer to your question, I think, just realistically speaking, based on the show and the characters we play, that's something you take into your career as well. Like Joe is going to, because he's Tommy,
Right.
is going to have more of those outside opportunities based on Tommy.
Kind of like Ozark.
Yeah.
Like he played kind of not a similar character, but it was also like, a street.
The point is that people, it just allows you to, well, put it this way. Here's what I'm saying. And again, this is not a boohoo thing. It's just being real.
Right.
Like, no one was saying like, oh, Cooper Saxe is going to be at a club this weekend. Let's go fucking party with Cooper Saxe.
You're not doing a hosting at Taboo Miami?
Yeah. Nobody's like making it rain. There's no asses popping in front of Cooper Saxe.
Yo, we have to do that one.
Yeah, we had to take that.
Come on.
We have to, bro.
That's so funny. I didn't even think of that.
People would probably get nervous. Like, make sure I'm going like, what's that guy doing here?
Right,
Is he gonna like arrest me or some shit?
Right. Peyton's not
Dude,
going
I'm
and
gonna
doing
tell
it.
you-
Peyton's
I'll
not going
tell
and doing
you.
a booking.
We joke about it. We're like, hey, we should go do a club. I'm like, yeah. There'd be like 3 people, be like our family members going like, hey guys, I had to pay to get in here. I'll be like, don't worry, I'll pay you back. So here's an example. I'm not going to say what it was, but somebody reached out to me just last week, and I got this offer to do something on a news channel,
Right.
where they wanted me to come on as a guest and talk about prison reform And I was like going, and they had a whole breakdown of the things that they wanted to ask me and sort of talk about. And I was like going, wait, what? Like, talk about the prison industrial complex and prison reform and my thoughts on it and what I think what direction we should go into. And I was like going, I mean, I have ideas and thoughts, but like, I'm an actor. Right. I'm not an assistant U.S. attorney. Like, what's happening? And this is a reputable
that is
news organization.
That's hilarious.
What are your opinions on this?
Yeah, I was like going, hold on a second. But so anyway, so some opportunities,
right?
But more than anything, what it's done is it's allowed me and a lot of us on the show, if we've taken the and I wish I would have taken more opportunities to when I had time,
right,
to be like writing, creating, producing, and I've done some of that stuff, which is very, very rewarding, but it's what the show has done for me more than anything is it's allowed me to sort of take care of my family. Right. It's allowed me to take a breath because, the ups and downs of a career, I've known more than you guys because I've been at it longer. I started back professionally in like 96. You guys, were you born?
Nah.
That was the year I was born.
I was 4 years before me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you were born and before you were born and when you were born is when that's when I did Saving Private Ryan. It was like,
damn.
Back in 96.
We should all watch that together at the house because he's never seen it.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, that was my first I didn't have a ton to do in it. Right. But it was like 3 weeks in Ireland shooting that beach sequence with Tom Hanks and like all those guys. That cast was incredible. Vin Diesel was kind of like his, big thing. Right. And working with Spielberg right out the gate. And it was all like from there, But I was still in college back then. I was still in college. But anyway, so now I think the thing is grinding. Right. Getting into the grind. That's why I really respect you guys, man, because you guys are like hustling. Yeah. Hustling and parlaying. And that's the thing is like whatever you have, whatever traction you have, people that are out there thinking like, you have to just take whatever heat you have. Right. And parlay it into the thing. You don't have to be they don't have to be in your position. Right. In order to do this. Now, granted, it may not be at this level right out the gate like you guys. That's incredible. Yes. But you build to it. Right. You build an audience. And, like you mentioned Gary Vee recently. Like, look at him, man. He was doing ridiculous videos, selling wine and stuff like that. Right. And now he's got 10 million followers and he just raised $50 million for some.
Gary Vee, let me get $1, my boy.
Yeah. I mean,
we actually met Gary Vee when we was at the hockey game.
At the Ranger game? Mm-hmm. Did we? Mm-hmm. That was him?
Yeah, he was like I said what's up to him, like he didn't fucking know who I was.
Oh, I did.
I was like, yo, Gary Vee, what's up? He said, hey, bud.
Yeah. He's like trying to buy the Jets, right?
Yeah. Is he?
He wants to. That's his dream, man.
That'd be fine.
But anyway, my point is he's somebody that just didn't let shit stop him. Right. And that as an artist, as a dreamer, because we're dreamers, we dream of shit, and you just gotta like not let shit stop you. Right. Not let being poor stop you. Not let being hungry stop you. Right. Not let location stop you.
Right. Because all of that shit is really you stopping yourself. Like,
fuck yeah,
when you think about shit like that, it's really you stopping yourself from getting further. Because no matter where the fuck you are, no matter like what's going on in your situation, like you can make something happen as long as you believe in it.
100%. Look at like Tarantino, who's working in video stores writing, scripts. Right. And working in a movie store, Blockbuster or some shit. Yeah. Robert Rodriguez making his first movie with like VHS tapes and recording and then hitting pause and then putting the next tape in. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Insane stuff.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah.
And that to me, that gets my blood going. That's when I go, I want to do guerrilla shit. Right. Like I don't want an insane amount of money. I want a little bit of money to make some fucking wild guerrilla shit and just go give us some equipment, let us go out with an awesome script and great actors and just like fucking make some wild shit that people will get into. Sure you don't have to spend $100 million to every movie doesn't have to be the Avengers. Right.
But now it's so much as people have the Florida Project or not the Florida Project, Tangerine. There was the that A24 movie filmed on an iPhone.
What?
Filmed on an iPhone, internationally distributed. Crazy reviews. Like it's that director that did Florida Project. He also did
Oh yeah, I know about this. Yeah.
So
phone.
On an iPhone. Like there's so much in our own hands that we can do these days. It's like, look at this. We just did this because we wanted to.
Literally.
So as artists and creators, like that's a good thing to know. Like there's back in the day, you know, back in the 30s when Shane started, like you couldn't.
It was silent still. They didn't even hear our voices.
Right. It was like
in the 30s.
Right.
They had to actually have a
Black
live
and white
piano
shit.
playing during the movie.
It was in black and white. And shit.
Yeah. But yeah, everything, you just had to wait for a studio to tell you could do something. You had to wait for a director to choose you. Now you can
It's 2022. All the resources are literally right here.
Right.
Yeah, because you used to shoot on film,
Right.
You know, and like student films a lot of times, and then you 16 millimeter, but films were shot on 35 or 70,
Right.
but usually 35, and that shit's expensive.
Yep.
It's expensive to shoot.
Print,
It's expensive. You know, like what we do now. You fuck up, you go back, and you go, hey, let me take that back. Like on 35. It's different.
Yeah.
Do that.
It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
You're going like, oh shit, I take it back. They go, dude, you just cost us like $4,000. That fuck up.
Yeah, that's
that pressure is
taking
cool,
that up.
though.
right. Yeah, it is kind of cool. You're like,
Because it forces you to just get on your shit and
Yeah.
do the best you can do.
Right.
Literally. Like,
Take 20.
right. So how did you like first get into acting? Like we covered some power stuff. How did you like kind of be like, oh, I want to be an actor, or you knew that you wanted to do it from the start, or
fuck
what?
Cooper Saxe. We gotta see what Shane.
I don't even know if I want to tell you.
No, now
Nah.
see, this is all the good stuff we want to know. Is the stuff that you don't want to say.
Bean. Gotta put us on, man.
I'm gonna admit some dark shit though if I admit
It was because of a girl.
No. Put it this way. I think I was destined to be an artist from the time I was young. You know, my friends were all artists. They were like painters and, writers and geniuses in their own respect.
Right.
But I was like the outlier being that I was in acting. I didn't, when I first got into acting, there was, well, because it's interesting, you know,
Right.
sometimes you can turn dark shit into a positive.
Right.
But when I was young, a teacher came along and was like, "Hey, I think you should do these plays," and with me, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do your fucking play," and he was like, "Well, what would you be comfortable doing?" I said, "Well, I don't want to have any lines or anything. Fuck that. What am I?" And so he's like, well, just come and try out for the thing. And so I said, nah, I don't want to try out. And he's like, well, here, let me just so he just put me in a play.
Right.
Just like being a character in a play that didn't have any lines.
Right.
I was actually like, it was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And I just rolled across the stage. I was like Tumbleweed. I was Snoopy's cousin, Tumbleweed.
Right.
And then the guy that was playing Snoopy got shit canned. Which I didn't.
He got fired?
He was like 15. He got fired. Like, fuck you, kid.
Yeah,
you're out.
You're
out. Shane,
ISOTEL.
you're in.
Right. ISOTEL.
And so then I was like playing. This is a tiny little farm town that I'm from, by the way.
Right.
But so then I played Snoopy in this thing, and that's what took off for me. As I was like, oh my god, I love this, and it got accolades. And I've seen, by the way, the girls were like freaking out, and I was like, oh, this is money. This is awesome. Now, I've seen tapes of it. I was terrible.
Right.
I was fucking terrible.
Right.
But
At the time.
and in my town, the bar is low. I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
But the thing that was wild is that and this is the thing that's uncomfortable to admit, but the guy that got me into this shit was molesting me.
Holy
Silence takes over the studio. Yeah, so this dude groomed me and molested me for like years, and so he kind of got me my foot in the door with that shit.
Right.
Which it tainted acting for me for such a long time, and I found myself in my 20s going like, man. And then this guy ended up getting fired and fucking, he ended up getting shit canned actually.
ISOTEL.
And they came to me and they said, hey, did anything happen with you with this guy? Because we know you guys were close. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there going, man, this shit's gonna haunt me.
Right.
I was like, at this time, I was maybe like 14.
Right.
And I was going, this shit is gonna haunt me. And I wanna be a big star. And if I'm a big star, I can imagine sitting down on the couch with Johnny Carson, who was a guy that had a late night TV show.
Back in the day.
And so they're gonna say, so we understand that you were molested by this guy. And I was like, fuck no. And so they said, did anything happen to you? I said, no, nothing ever happened to me.
Jeez.
He would never do that. What are you talking about? He's great. And so I just fucking glossed over it for about a decade.
Damn.
And just once he was fired and out of my life, I just kind of, man, I just kept it moving.
Right.
And then when I found myself in LA, I found myself kind of like sabotaging my career.
Right.
Because part of me felt like if I'm successful, that motherfucker's out there somewhere taking responsibility for it, thinking like, oh, I made him a star.
Right.
You know, it takes a fucking once I realized that I was sabotaging my career and that it was about him, I was like, man, I got to take this out of this motherfucker.
In what sense were you sabotaging your career? Like you were like fucking up auditions, you weren't going to shit. Like what is that to you?
I think in that realm,
right?
I think I never really put myself out there as an artist, as an actor. I wasn't doing. When I get an audition, I wouldn't go full tilt.
Right.
I would go, you know, I would just kind of half-ass try.
Right.
And so then if I didn't get it, it'd be like, well, I didn't even try anyway, so fuck it, I don't care. But if you really fucking go for something, and you put your all into it, and then you don't get it, it hurts.
Yeah.
Different.
So you were avoiding that type of shit.
I was avoiding that shit, but I also think that on the other side of that, I didn't really want, it was weird. It wasn't like a conscious thought, like, I don't want to work, I don't want to be successful. It was kind of like, I don't want this guy to feel like
he's the reason I'm working.
And made me a star. You know what I mean? I wanted to be like, this, if I'm gonna be a star, it's because of me. Right. But he's the one that discovered me, you know? And so getting past that shit and then dealing with the ramifications of that, like having girls go, but so you're gay? And I'd be like, no, I'm not fucking gay. I was molested. There's a difference. Being groomed by a guy that's, by the way, was probably my age now.
Jeez.
Molesting somebody who's my kid's age now.
Right.
But it really, and I think this is true no matter what your trauma is. Everybody has trauma.
Right.
Whether it's growing up not being popular, being picked on, being abused, being molested, being fucking raped, God forbid, or anything. Man, the percentage of people in this world that have gone through some dark shit is so unfortunate and so outrageous.
Right, it's fucked up.
I mean, we're talking probably most people have dealt with some shit. So I'm not trying to act like, I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't feel like I went through some shit that makes me special or makes me like a victim or some shit. I don't feel that way at all. It was really just, I had to go through that process of taking ownership of myself and what I was after and kind of going, no, dude, fuck that guy. And by the way, if he's at home going like, yeah, I knew it, you know, while he's biting into his steak.
Big rich town.
Yeah, exactly.
Shane Johnson.
He's at home all greased up, dancing naked to like Big Rich Town going,
he's like, I'm waiting for that name.
I just came from Forest Park.
He's the only person at your host.
Yeah, he shows up. He's got like rings on his nipples, a chain between them, and he's like, "I'm here. I knew you'd make it. I knew you'd make it."
Oh my God, I can't laugh at that. It's so funny.
And he's like, "Come on, just for old time's sake, one more time.
Oh my God.
Just one more time, Daddy." Anyway, so that aside. I think really kind of getting to the point where I kind of felt this is mine now,
right?
And believing and kind of getting to the point of going, hey, this is what I'm destined to do,
right?
I'm a fucking storyteller. I love writing. I love acting. I love teaching. I love mentoring people. I love helping people. Like that's how I'm built.
Right.
And fuck this guy for taking advantage of somebody who was, who wanted he saw that I was a dreamer.
Right.
And that's what he played on.
Right.
He preyed on. He saw I was a dreamer and he came in, he's like, hey, if you do this, if you do that. And it was all from the standpoint of like me being an artist.
Right.
He'd be like, well, if you really want to be an artist, you can't have inhibitions.
Right.
And that's how it starts.
Right.
I'm just telling you, that's the playbook if you guys are interested.
Right. Shane.
That's how you approach it.
Right.
Off camera, I'll give you guys the playbook. All right? I have it written down in the car.
Right. But no, you're 100% right. And honestly, like I really want everyone to know how instrumental you have been for me in this universe, in this world, as an actor, as everything. Like, you have sincerely helped me so much. Even after table reads, I'll call you. Like, you really have been there for me, and I really just want to say how much I appreciate you as like a mentor, a father figure, like everything. Like, I really just want to sincerely thank you.
Thanks, man. You came over to Thanksgiving.
Right, I did. Me and my ex-girlfriend, we won't talk about her, but we came over for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was fun.
And yeah, we had a good time. I just welcome me into your home and your family, and I sincerely appreciate that. All right, let's get into some fan questions before this goes off the rails.
Didn't it go off the rails a while ago?
Shane, I want to let you know, if we cut that, there's about 40 minutes out of the episode, so it's the ball's in your court. If you want this to be a 15-minute episode, it like starts off, you're like talking, all of a sudden the end, you're just like this, and you're like, what did we miss?
Well,
you missed a lot.
Did we have any other any other things that we needed to cover or no?
We have fan questions for you. That's why I didn't want to ask a lot of them, because there are a lot of fan questions in here that do cover like power stuff. So Cope Papas, another one. I don't even look at the names. I just circled the questions that I like. Do you see any differences between power sax and ghost sax? And if yes, what are these differences? That's a fucking great question, by the way.
Well, to answer that, I'll say this. I feel like Courtney, God bless her, has been so amazing.
The best.
In regards to, first of all, giving me a job and a career here. But also, she every year has layered Cooper Saxe.
Right.
She's given him more problems. She's given him more colors. She's really helped me by seeing in me, like, she inspires me, and I get to kind of add more and more turbulence and more fucked upness and more, levels to the character every year.
Right.
Like, it started off pretty one note. I basically was a thorn in Angela's side. I was fucking with her. I was giving her a hard time and shit. And then it developed into, me being like wanting to take over the joint.
Right.
And then having friends there, and then seeing the loss around me and how I deal with a loss. And then moving into Ghost, having like a love interest.
The family.
A family, and all of and then the thing that's cool there is you got more to lose.
Right.
And every year there's more to lose because the character has more depth, has more colors, and there's more to lose.
Right.
There's more to lose for me there's more to lose for Cooper Saxe. There's also more to lose for the audience. You get more and more invested.
because
in
they
the
see your
character.
family, they see everything. Then once
They see Riley, that motherfucker.
Yeah, see, and that's another thing is
Riley,
they made me kind of like in a genius way, really, kind of made me a father.
Right.
To see that side of Cooper Saxe to Riley, because I had this. She obviously is not my daughter, but she's family.
Right.
She's my niece, and it's the closest you see Cooper Saxe coming to being like, fuck, this is like, and then the love interest thing.
Dynamic. I love that shit.
Yeah.
That shit
And
was
then
fire.
and then the love interest stuff, I feel like brought out a whole other side of Cooper Saxe, where he had this vulnerability with Riley too, but with where it was like you could see that he was trying to be like business,
Right.
and just like friends with benefits, colleagues with benefits, but then it was like he's feeling some shit, you know,
Right.
And I loved that.
Right. Can you talk about the sex scenes real quick with Peyton, like the love scenes that you had? Because I know that we've had this conversation that you actually brought like a depth to it, where you kind of wanted Saxe to be like this, interesting guy with his sex life. Like, and actually always thought it was really interesting, like the way you did that.
Yeah, well, a couple of things. So to start with, you get it when you find out you're getting a sex scene.
Get bolo. You get on those roids, baby.
Yeah, I wish. But so what happened for me was I would when I found out that we had these intimate scenes. First off, I was also just pretty much kind of getting to know Peyton, so it was kind of trying to get on the same page with her,
right?
And kind of go, well, when you look back over Power, you guys have talked about it on here. There are some incredible sex scenes, glamorous, like I don't want to. The Omari's, who's just
Omari's
like
beautiful traps.
Yeah, he's hand painted, all this sort of shit. And so And they're kind
What do
of
you
the
mean,
way
bro?
they're shot and the music and it's romantic and it's like people are rewinding it and watching it again and going, getting off to it or whatever they're doing.
Right.
But for me, I was going, okay, if Cooper Saxe is gonna get naked and have
Right.
sex scene, first of all, the audience is gonna be like, why the fuck are you showing me this?
Right.
This fucking guy?
Right.
And so I was like, okay, so I gotta turn that on its head.
Right.
First of all, I gotta be in shape.
Right.
So I was like, I gotta get in shape for this. But then I also was like, I don't want this, I'm not gonna do the romantic sort of sensual, lovey sort of thing. I'm like, and so I got together with Peyton and with Courtney and we talked about like, what, if these people have sex, how do these people have sex?
Right.
With their damage,
Right.
with their lack of ability to connect with people.
Right.
How fucked up is this relationship?
Right.
And how fucked up is their sex?
Right.
And so that to me was like, how kinky can we get? I mean, I had things that were much further.
You had Cooper Saxe in a ball gag, right?
Oh, dude, not far from that.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah, I was like, here's what I thought. I was like, what if in the first one, I was like, what if Cooper Saxe just has like a fucking bloody nose?
Right.
And we don't talk about it. Something just happened prior to this, and they're fucking like crazy, and he's just bleeding from his face. And some dark
Was
shit.
Courtney like, okay, let's fucking chill out?
Yeah, of course.
She's like Shane. No.
Right.
But I was going like, how awesome was that?
Right.
Because then you're going, oh my God, these guys are freaks.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? Did you punch
And then
him in
they
his
clean
shit?
up, and then they go and they put on suits, and then they,
That is interesting.
I'm like, that's why.
It's like Billions, kind of, how he's getting
Yeah.
peed on and strapped on.
That kind of shit where I was
Right.
like, how, and then I also feel like that's something that as a story,
Right.
you can hook into and go, okay, I'm interested in this, because it's not just glamorous. It's not just like, look at these bodies
Right.
and look at them. It's like these people, these
Right.
fucked up people with their history and all the shit that they have going on. And this is the way they express themselves. This is how they bleed out, literally or figuratively, bleed out their damage from life. This is how they vent. Some people drink, these people are fucking kinky. And to me, I thought that was hot. I thought it was wild. And so we included that in all of the intimate scenes we've had.
Right.
We kind of are like, okay, what's this one about? How do we,
Right.
why, how can we make it weird? Like, I think at one point we had just finished having sex, and I was like, well, he's got the bed sheet around his neck and he's fucking had just been choking himself or some shit. And I'm like, yeah, that's what Cooper Saxe does.
Holy shit. I love that.
That's the only way I can get hard.
That's the only way he gets up. Like,
Right.
Gotta choke him with the bed sheet.
No, there was such
I
an
need some
interesting thing.
help.
Right.
Cooper Saxe has ED.
Right.
Shane is great.
Right. Well, we'll link you up with our friends here at Blue.
Oh yeah, we got Blue Chew. We got the Blue Chew.
And the Blue Chew ad. No. I love that though. Thank you. I appreciate it.
The next question is by It's PYT. She said, if you could add or take away one thing Saxe has done in Power or Ghost, what would it be?
One thing that Saxe has done in Power or Ghost. God.
Is it being truth with a gun in your hand while letting Tariq see you with that shit? Or what?
Yeah, because that was kind of like
I mean, I guess in terms of getting caught with some shit, that definitely was
right.
a fuck up.
Yeah.
That
you
led
personally,
to, and that was interesting because that led to leading into Ghost.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, if that
you kind of owned me,
yeah,
for a while,
had you under my
because
thumb, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
seeing you with the gun.
seeing me with the gun kind of gave you some ammunition. so
Actually,
to speak.
filming that scene was insane. That scene where I tell you that I like everything, like I saw you with the shit, and you're gonna tell them this and that. That scene was insane. Anthony, the way Anthony walked me through that scene was fucking insane.
That was the pilot of Ghost.
Yeah, Pilot of Ghost, and I was fucking tired that scene, bro. I was cooked. I don't know what the fuck, and like Anthony just put me to the side. He was like, I don't know what he said, but I was like, oh fuck, no, I'm tripping. Then I just was like, nah, fuck this. I gotta lock in, and then yeah, Anthony just walked me through that shit. But back
Yeah,
to
you
what
know,
were saying.
you put it to me in that because I went from a power position of like going, I got you, to you saying, hey, because that was when you said, hey, can I need some water and some shit,
And then-
and so you sent somebody out the room,
Yeah, to get some water. I said, please just.
and then when we were in the room alone, he's like, basically, okay, here's the deal, man.
Yeah, I was crying and all that. I'm like, please, get some water. As soon as she leaves, all right. Got you,
Yeah.
motherfucker. What's up now? Yeah, literally.
So then she walks back in the room or whatever. I don't remember the exact scene, but it was basically like I was owned.
Right.
You know, I was owned. And so then that kind of like led to, that's really where Ghost took off for me.
Right.
And then that's when we basically were working together.
Yeah,
You know, I was kind of like, you know, trying to cover for you and also kind of trying to still keep some shit going, some investigation going. I mean, it was like that balancing act.
You been in some tough situations, my boy.
Yeah.
Last question from Adriana Ioko, and she said, "What was the most fun/exciting scene to film for you?"
Well, I'll say that, before I say that, I'll say this. I've had so many incredible cast members to work with.
Right.
Cast people.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? Cast members to work with. I mean, going all the way back from Leela and Naturi, and I never really got to work with Omari.
Right.
But barely worked with Joe.
Did Joe and Omari, were they the ones that put the bag over your head? Was both of them, or was it just Joe?
No, it was both of them.
It was both of them.
But like that's one scene.
Right.
In 6 seasons.
That was so cool.
That's
that
one
scene was
scene.
dope. Right.
I've probably had a handful of scenes with Joe, but you know, we couldn't cross paths.
Right.
If we cross paths, that's game over for
Right.
somebody.
Right.
For somebody.
Right.
Probably
Exactly.
Joe going to jail or your ass about to get clapped.
But man, from to working with Andy, with David Fumero, fucking Sung.
Sung's the
yeah.
I want Sung on this show so bad.
Yes,
He's the
bro, that was
man.
fire. That was
And those, I mean, all three of those guys are just incredible to me. And then getting to work with Method Man these last 3 years is
So dope.
He's incredible.
Right.
And the energy
He's
that
that guy.
dude brings to
He's
set,
that.
man.
He is indeed that guy.
Man,
Crazy.
he's the guy that like I get jealous, you know, because I'm going, how does he bring this?
Right.
He shows up, we show up at the same time, same energy, walking, we get set, and like he just lights up, man.
Right.
And he knows everybody. He's just enthusiastic. He infuses energy.
He starts the raps.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
I'm
they
going,
are.
man,
I'm like,
I
yeah,
need
this
to
is lit.
get on my rap game.
Yeah.
That's
I need
You
some
gotta
rhymes.
just get the microphone so you can podcast and you can make that album.
Yeah.
But that to answer that question, my favorite scene was probably that scene that started off that you're talking about, where I'm jerking off to some like lesbian porn, and they fucking kick in the door, my pants around my ankles, like I'm pleading for my life.
Right.
They put a bag over my head, you know, all that shit was the most fun.
That's got to be on your reel, that scene. Huh?
That was I don't
scene's
I need
unreal.
to put together. Yeah, that scene was great, and it was Bart. So by the end of it, my neck was like,
Right. It's so funny. Everyone who comes on this podcast is like, Bart does 900 takes, but he gets what he wants.
Yeah,
what he
that's the
wants,
thing though.
and it looks good
I'll
every
tell
time.
you this: when I walked out of that scene, in deference to Bart, it was like I was confident.
Right.
I was like, we got that.
Right.
Yeah,
He gives you that.
You're like, there's no way there's not at least one of these that aren't golden. Like,
Yeah, because sometimes you'll leave the scene and you'll be like,
like,
I don't
damn,
know.
why the fuck? I'm like,
Right.
damn, I should have did this, and they already like turn around, they're already on to the next.
And you're like, it's fine. You just keep it moving. But sometimes you're like, and they're like, hey, so I'm happy. Are you happy? And you're kind of like, well, I'm not going to be that guy that's like, give me 3 more.
yeah,
You're
right.
just like,
Everybody wants to fucking go home. And
Right.
yeah. So you're just like, no, it's cool. Let's move on. But Bart would be like, and so then that also gives you the opportunity as an actor to play and to go, let me try and find something. Let me get, we already got that. My favorite is when a director will say,
Yeah, we got
"Hey,
what we needed."
That's the best.
That's the
man."
best.
When a director's like, we got what we needed.
Now just do you.
Do one for you.
That's why Braden is here. That's why
literally
Braden
you
is
are.
here, because a director came up to me. I was a fucking co-star, and she came up to me and was like, "We got, we needed the
Was it
next
Ma-
2 takes
was it-
yours."
was it-
Her name was Amy, Aimee.
Man.
No, Amy
No?
Cohn. I don't remember. I gotta find her exact name. She was incredible, and she just kind of let me play. She was like a French director, and she was the one that said whatever, and I improv'd a fuck ton, and then they loved it, and that's what made it.
Yeah, those are the best. Those are the
But I
best.
wouldn't be here without
Even if you're not improvising, even if it's just like, okay, I can like
Try something
loosen this
crazy.
up, try some other shit.
Different type of action, say a line a different way, like
Yeah.
anything. The slightest change could make the biggest difference.
Yeah, and sometimes those little like nuggets that end up in the show, you know.
Right.
And you see it, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
You're like, why didn't I
shit."
do that from the beginning?
Yeah.
Right.
There's
It
so much.
happens, though. You
There's
find
so
other
much
stuff.
freedom.
Right.
There's so much freedom when couple of things. There's so much freedom when they say this one's you. Just do whatever. We got what we need. So you're like, all right, this doesn't even fucking matter.
Right.
I can fuck this up.
Right.
And there's a freedom in that. And then the other one is when at the end of a take, they don't cut.
Right.
And you know when you kind of get the vibe from the director that you're like, this guy doesn't, or this girl
Right.
doesn't cut.
Right.
And so they want to see if they just want to let you play at the end of a take.
Right.
And so the scene's over,
But you
and
still
you're just
going.
there.
Right.
And so then you just kind of play and find some stuff, and you know sometimes you get some magic out of that.
Right. I can't wait to when we recap, because we're gonna have you back on for recaps for Ghost, season 3.
If they let us do it.
Yeah, I think they will.
hope.
Please. But there's such funny stuff with Mike that I want to talk about when the scene happens, and then we can talk about like the back and forth stuff after we cut, because I'm curious what makes it, because we don't know what makes it until the episode airs.
Yeah.
So
I'm fiending.
yeah,
I'm
we'll see.
fiending.
We'll see. But we love you, Shane. Thank you so much for
Love you
coming
guys
on.
too, man.
And plug what you got. You know, plug your Instagram, your everything. Please follow Shane. Like, you guys are haters. Come on.
I fucking hate
if you-
Cooper Saxe, man.
But I don't
What's
want
wrong
any
with you?
love. We got to maintain hate.
Right.
That's my
All
brand.
right, so follow him. Y'all can still hate him, but at least
Right.
follow him.
That's my
You know
brand
what I'm saying?
now.
Right.
At least follow
Hatred.
him.
Right.
If you're gonna hate him, at least follow him.
It's because I'm old and I didn't know that I could do something cool. It's Shane_M_Johnson.
And he also has a
Instagram and
booking in Houston, Texas next week. No, I'm kidding.
Go throw
I'll be
some
at
ones on him.
Hooters
Right.
having lunch. I'll be at Hooters having lunch if you want to stop by. Maybe get a little picture. a little
Tendons and
sign.
titties, you heard?
By the way, I charge $5 for a picture now. I need it for my kids. They're going to private school.
We might be upping the price to 10 soon, so get your shits while you can. But Michael Rainey Jr. on Instagram and Twitter. Where's 22 on Instagram as well. Also his TikTok. Yeah, the boys are here, and yeah.
Yes, sir. Gianni V. Paolo, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you follow the Where is 22 vlogs. We're at the Moneyline
subscribe.
House.
Oh yeah, we at the Moneyline.
We at the Moneyline House, baby.
at
We're
the
making
Money
content.
House.
We got vlogs coming out, so make sure you subscribe. We have a ton of, like, Mike's doing some bookings. We got a lot of stuff coming out.
My
so
birthday coming up too. Shit.
I think this episode will be right before your birthday.
Yeah, it's right before my birthday.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're watching this, wish me a happy early birthday.
Happy birthday.
Give us one, Mike.
Thanks, baby. He was the first person to say happy birthday to me, so like I say. But
win.
the crew has it, baby. Yes, sir.
The crew has it.
Fucking Johnson, baby.
And you have it. Thank you so much, Shane.
Yes, sir.
That was fun.
Damn, that was fucking
I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be the